to to tantric practice that many refer to this approach as mantrayana, or the mantra vehicle. A typical Buddhist service will always contain some form of liturgical chanting, usually drawn from the scriptures that a school views as definitive of its doctrines. Um. Oh, okay. It talks about the like then it shifts to the Buddhist perspective that our lives, just how like in the video, the guy said like it's not our happiness and so forth is not determined by external factors, but it's shaped through everything that we do and we say and we think. And so that's why they said focusing on like a mental, it says a form of mental cultivation, we're able to build that sort of um, build those barriers within ourselves instead of being reliant on any external factors.
We can practice through your mouth, right? Through
Yes,
your body and through your mind. So which one is more important?
I think the mind, because the mind controls the mouth and the
Yeah.
the eyes and stuff.
That's why parents want you to recite the mantra. Remember that?
Yes,
And even about Buddha, is that chanting too or what?
it's not chanting, but it's a form of.
What?
It's like disciplining your focus. Because I know some people will be like, they would.
Ritual.
What?
Okay. A ritual ceremony. Ritual. You know what's in ritual?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why Buddhism is so flexible. Sometimes people would like to sit in meditation, like making people they cannot do the chanting, right?
Yes.
Wait, Vietnamese, Chinese, Buddhists, they have the faith that's why they can decide the mantra, the Buddha names for hours and hours.
Yes.
Daniel, next one, Daniel. Chanting.
Who, me?
Yeah, chanting.
Oh, okay. Chanting has a long history in Buddhism and reflects a widespread belief in the special power of the spoken true word. In Mahayana countries outside of India, the canonical language was Sanskrit, despite the fact that few spoke it. Sutra chanting today in East Asia is mostly done in the Chinese form of the scripture, a language that, while our chanting can still be understood. The chanting of mantras in Dharanese continues in Sanskrit.
Can you summarize what about?
It's talking about how chanting was a widespread belief in the outside of country of India.
And which language for the mantra that you recite every day, even Vietnamese?
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit, right?
Sanskrit. Sanskrit.
That's why they call it transliteration, not translation. Transliteration, that's when they just translate the sound. The meaning is still the same. Understand?
Yeah.
So, Aaron, do you understand the difference between translation and transliteration? You know what's the meaning? What's the difference between them?
Translation is more so like a direct
Translation.
like a direct meaning. By meaning, it's by meaning. But transliteration is by like the sound or by the letter of it.
Right here. You see, translation via transliteration. Right? Brand uniform. Brand, you understand the difference between translation and transliteration?
Mm,
Can you read? Read this one here.
the sole purpose of translation is to carry the meaning of words from one language to another. In contrast, transliteration does not carry across any of the contextual meaning between languages. Transliteration, unlike translation, focus entirely on the characters that make up each word.
Understand that? Understand the difference now?
Kind of.
Aaron, can you explain one more time clearly the difference between translation and transliteration? And give example.
Translation is about meaning, and
Mhm.
transliteration is by like the sound.
Yeah, wow, this is so simple. Understand, Aaron, Brandon? Brand? What's mean translation of the meaning and translation of the sound? What's mean? Brand.
What?
You know what is mean by translation of the meaning?
It's like phonetic.
For example, what you call you know how to call banana in Vietnamese?
Yes.
It's dewy.
Do we?
Yes. Okay, that's called translation, right? So
Yes.
how about transliteration of a banana to Vietnamese? What do we call that one?
To Vietnamese, a banana.
Yeah.
Banana.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Banana.
Translate the sound.
Banana.
Like coffee in Vietnam, they pick up, they keep that
Cafe.
cafe. See that?
Cafe.
See that? That's called transliteration, not translation. Is that clear now? Is it clear? Daniel, you got that? Any word? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Okay, well.
Aaron, give them one more time the example, the difference between translation and transliteration in Vietnamese and English too.
You can say it's like one is a transliteration is a phonetic sound. It's translating the phonetic sound to your language.
Okay.
And then translation is the meaning.
Give an example. How about gum? Chew gum, right? Vietnamese we call chew gum too, right? Right?
What is chew? I don't know what's chewing gum.
Okay, so Daniel.
I know one in Arabic.
No. Daniel, how can you say I choose gum in Vietnamese?
Con ăn
Nhai sinh gum.
Yeah, see that? Nhai sừng gum. So gum, right? In English, and its transliteration in Vietnamese, sừng gum. You got now? Right?
Sing gum.
okay.
That's the transliteration of the sound, not the meaning. You got that, Brent? Can you give one example? One more example, Brent, before we move on? Anything to remember?
Rice is gum. If you say it in transliteration, you
So
would
that's
say
com. That means what? Transliteration or translation from rice to com. What do you call
that's translation.
Yeah, translation, right? Rice in English, translate to Vietnamese to com. How about transliteration?
Is it rice?
No, we don't call rice in Vietnamese. We call com. That's only purely translation, nothing to do with transliteration. Okay. So anything else, Aaron? Can you give them one more time, one more example? Any word to remember is similar word. Coffee.
No one in
Coffee and cafe, you know, right? What else?
How
about butter? See that?
butter? I know cheese.
No,
cheese.
butter. No, butter is better.
Oh.
All right. So Daniel, how can you say I eat butter in Vietnamese? I consume butter in Vietnamese.
Nice. Ngài xin bơ.
No. How can you say I eat butter?
Oh, con
Yeah, but eat butter. How can you say that?
con ăn con ăn bơ.
Yeah, see that? Butter.
Ờ,
Okay, butter, right? You translation to butter, all right? You got that now, Brent? Brent, you got that? No? Really? You got that now? So you remember from butter to bowl. That's called transliteration. Understand? Okay. But from rise to come is this what? Translation by itself. Is that clear now? Okay, all right, let's move on. So that's what it's about. So when you decide the mantra, you decide the transliteration of the sound from Sanskrit. Okay? That's what's about here. Yo, so that's why it is called Dharani. That's why Aaron, you home every morning I decide mantra, right?
Yes.
You know why? Can you tell them why? Why I need to decide the mantra besides doing meditation? Can you tell why?
Protect yourself.
Why? Meditation will not protect you?
Because the mantra they call the Buddha.
That is the password to call for some spiritual garden, right? To protect you. Oh, go ahead. You be the next one, right, Aaron?
Okay. Mahayana. Oh, the Mahayana tradition also gave rise to a class of scriptures called Buddha named sutras, which contain little more than lists of the names of the past, present, and future Buddhas, specifically written for ritual chanting. These texts, when recited, were thought to produce great merit, which was usually transferred to someone who is recently deceased. The production of merit is an important part of all sutras.
Stop there, Aaron. Why? Why, when you decide the Buddha names in the past, present, future, you you create a lot of merit. You know why?
You're calling onto them. You're calling for them to come and assist you and give you their help.
What happens if you call on some kind of devil? What happens?
Then you would be in big trouble.
Some people they use black magic. They call devil, right? And
I
devil
see.
they mess up their life, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Daniel, you know why you need to decide Buddha names now? Why is that, Daniel? Why?
is to save yourself.
Whenever you decide Buddha name, you think about Buddha who have so much blessing and wisdom. But whenever you think about devil, what happened? What happened, Brand? When you think about devil, evil people, what do you think about them? When you think about them, what happens to your mind?
You cut out. Could you say that again?
No, I mean that whenever you think about evil people, what happened to your mind?
Probably I think about evil things.
Yeah, but whenever you decide Buddha name, what happened then?
It goes away.
And whenever you decide Buddha name, you accumulate or create merit in that way. That's why here, they decide the Buddha name, right? Amida Namo Ayeda Phật for the one who passed away, right? Go ahead, Brent, read next one, the production.
The production of merit is an important part of all sutra recitations. And when a person dies, his or her family will typically ask a Buddha priest to recite sutras in the hope that this act will help to secure a favorable rebirth for the deceased. Reciting
Stop there. Why is that? Why when someone passed away and and they asked the Buddhist monks and nuns to recite Buddha names as the sutra so that they can secure the favorable rebirth for the disease. Why is that?
Because it's I'm guessing they're like asking the Buddhist monks to to like help them like find the um Buddha's way or something. So next time they are rebirth, they are like born in something that um isn't as bad.
So one more time, see that if you think about evil people, you might be evil, right? You think about some evil thing, right? But when you think about Buddha, you think about goodness, you think about compassion. Understand that? So when someone passed away, when we pray by reciting the Buddha name so that they think about Buddha, so that they can get a merit to be born in the good realm. Understand that? One more time, I want to mention here for you guys. He used Buddhist priest. That's wrong. Buddhist. What's the difference between Buddhist priest and Buddhist monk? Aaron, what's the difference? What's the difference between priest and monk?
Monk is
What's the difference? Can you
the
copy the Buddhist
difference.
priest?
I think the difference could be that the monk they are they are just more so unbiased.
Okay, how about priest?
A priest they might bring on the wrong ideas of Buddhism.
Here it's easy. Priest in Japan, Buddhist priests, they have families. Whenever you say Buddhist priest, just mean you need to relate to Japanese Buddhist priests. They don't call themselves Buddhist monk. They call themselves Buddhist priests because they have families. Boys for monk, we are celebrity. It's a separate, by sea, right? Yeah, understand the difference now? Celibacy.
Yes,
That's the
I
difference.
understand.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Aaron. You're the last one. Reciting.
Reciting sutra passages for the dead not only generates merit but has the effect of preaching. It is believed, particularly in Tibet, that the spiritual content of scriptures recited in rituals for the recently deceased have a good chance of being perceived by the dead person's subtle consciousness in the intermediate state between death and rebirth. This may lead to a religious awakening, altering the deceased's karmic status and potentially improving the state of his or her imminent rebirth.
Can summarize what about?
It's saying reciting sutras does not only or reciting sutras also along with generating merit also has the possibility of alleviating any like evil karmic ties to this deceased person and potentially helping them like have a better outcome.
So when you refer to the name, it's like you provide the GPS for someone to drive the car. Make sense?
Let's see.
GPS to the Buddha land. If
Yes.
you have
Let's see.
GPS, you go down to the hell, go down to the animal realm. Do you go with sugar? Understand that?
Yes.
Daniel, you know, understand why if you have the wrong GPS, you may go with sugar. You know what I mean?
Yung opa.
Aaron, can you explain to him, please? What mean going with your sugar? Who is sugar?
Suga is a dog, and
Okay.
the dog that recently passed away.
Okay. And what happened when you go with the wrong GPS? You may go with him. Why?
Then you get like you'd be in the animal realm.
If you love them so much.
Then you would be dragged with them to the animal realm.
So that's why in Buddhism we don't want to keep an animal unless they come to seek for help, right? So that's why we need to give them the food. out of compassion. Make sense? All right, Brand, let's go. Come on, go ahead. May I please, Brand?
May I be happy?
Maybe happy.
May I be lucky?
Maybe lucky.
May I have a good weekend?
Have a good weekend.
Daniel, my parents, please.
May our parents be happy?
May our
May parents be happy.
May our parents see Buddha?
May our parents see
May
Buddha.
parents see Buddha.
May our parents have a good weekend?
May our
May
parents
parents
have
have a good weekend.
Gentlemen, my weekend, please.
May weekend be not regretful.
May our weekend not be regretful.
May weekend be at least enjoyable.
May our
Weekend be enjoyable.
weekend be enjoyable?
And may weekend be a good one.
May our weekend be a good one.
Very good. Thank you.
I
See
just-
Okay.